Guys, I made a little bit of a miscalculation. You see, I was thinking, okay, I'm gonna upload a video every 2 days and then keep it fresh, keep it fun. Kind of forgot that all upgrade times in the home village are like 12 days. Anyway, right now we do have the lab free, so I guess let's go fire off a troop in there. All right, so I say let's go get our star bonus real fast. There's one. Boom. Okay, so now that should be enough, right? Oh, baby. All right, let's go collect all that. Okay, so we're gonna fire off some healers, and then let's go ahead and finish that. Slide over to the builder hall. I nearly just sold this one again. I would be so mad. Anyway, we're gonna use that, and then now we can upgrade some more. Let's fire off these yetis, and then now we can boost everything, and that should take off 8 days. With that out of the way, there's literally like nothing to do anymore. So we're gonna slide back to the builder base, baby. Okay, look, let me explain something to you guys. There are millions of monthly players of Clash of Clans. According to this website I just found, it says there's like 70 million monthly players. 70 million. And by looking at this person's home village finish from last season, 1.6 million people were playing above 4,972 trophies. So there are at least 1.6 million monthly players who are actually kind of hardcore. And out of the 70 million monthly players and the 1.6 hardcore monthly players, there are only 75 people in the entire world who are actually in Diamond League. That's crazy. If we're just going to be generous and say there is only 1.6 million hardcore players who might actually be able to reach this, that is 0.00004% of players who are actually in Diamond League. This is the rarest league in the game to be in. And so I guess we might as well reach that league on my own. We were only roughly 80 trophies away, and I'm gonna see if I can get there this video. And to start this off, I have a weird story to tell you guys. So I get hate comments, all right? And that's just how the game goes. You can't be this influential of a YouTuber and not get some hate comments, all right? It happens. And usually I employ the tried and true strategy of just don't respond to them. But dude, I saw this one on my last video, and it actually is insane because it has the craziest crossover I didn't even know about until earlier today. Anyway, the comment is from our Lord and Savior Crimson Tide 4415, who said, "This is the channel that baits the most. All useless content with bait thumbnails. Hate this guy." Alright, so I got a little fired up over that, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, because I was like, actually I didn't clickbait, which is true, I didn't. The thumbnail in the video was like me saying that the lab assistant cost $80, and the reason I said that is because it does. I literally spend $100 in the video to max out the lab assistant. He definitely cost that much. Anyway, I was a little fired up over that. I was like, "You're not calling me a liar." And anyway, all that to say, I responded to him. I was like, "Where's the clickbait?" Actually, there's no clickbait here. You know, whatever. Just being a loser and actually engaging with hate comments. And so I was going to do an entire video today on hate comments and like just going through all the ones that I've received because, you know, some of them are actually pretty funny. Not all of them are necessarily hate comments. Some of them are just genuinely funny. Like, let me show you this one. I was cracking up over this one today. There was a period of time where I just made really weird thumbnails. I'm not gonna lie to you. And I was going through my channel where I post all my silly comments I get. And this one just says, "What kind of thumbnail is that?" 3 question marks, and you zoom in on the thumbnail, and it's a fish inside of the cannon cart, and it just says cannon carp. So stupid. So yeah, that's a pretty valid that's a valid comment, I'm not gonna lie. But anyway, I was going through all these older messages I've gotten, and it turns out this is not the first time Crimson Tide 4415 has made it in my questionable comments Discord channel. In fact, I think a year ago, no, nearly 2 years ago, commented on a video I made about me playing the builder base only with my nose. And his comment, my friends, it's pretty interesting. His comment says, to the video of me playing only with my nose, it says, "Not impressed. Now do it with your dick. So you're telling me you went from wanting to see me play the builder base with my dick to hating me. He just hates this guy. The craziest switch up of the 21st century, truly. If you guys want to see a whole video of just the stupid comments I get, please let me know, because there's so many. There's one that's like, are you a furry? Because your hair looks terrible. Another one's like, are you a man or a woman? Dude, there's some crazy hate comments I've got. One of my favorite ones is one that just said, like, you deserve 10,000 subscribers, which at first I was like, oh, that's kind of sweet. And then I remembered I had like 30,000 at the time he commented that. It's so stupid. Like, for one, it wasn't even, he could have been like, this guy does not deserve any subscribers. No, he told me how many I deserved. It just wasn't as many as I had. It was only 10,000, not 30,000. It's a sleeper hate comment, you know? It has a sleeper build. You thought it was nice, and then, wait a minute. Wait, what is that right there? I think I can actually reach this roaster here with the cannon cart, which is going to be one of the most gangster outranges I've ever done. You silly gooses who don't play the builder base may not understand how epic of an outrange this is going to be, but okay, this is not going to outrange at all. Okay, but anyway, all that aside, I'm not going to do a video just about hate comments, because I don't really know if you guys would want to see that. I mean, again, if you do want to see that, fellas, just let a brother know. But I'm not going to do that today unsolicited, so I think where we should start today is actually, I want to tell you guys about my sister's graduation. I went to my sister's graduation, which, dude, it's so stupid. So, for one, I have never really been to a high school graduation before. I mean, I've been to my own, obviously. I did graduate high school, no big deal. But I'd not really been to a high school graduation for anyone else. And I started getting mad. Okay, so, look, at first, you get there, packed. Stadium's packed. It turns out there are a lot of people who want to watch their kids graduate. I wouldn't have guessed. But yeah, stadium's packed, and there's only bleachers. No back support or anything. I'm a slut for back support. I'm pissed at this point, because I just want to have some sweet, sweet back support. I'm not getting it. And so I just start kind of walking around a bit. I'm seeing people who I did go to high school with, and I'm just not gonna talk to you or something. I don't know. I don't like talking to people I used to go to school with, because it's just awkward, dude. You guys didn't really know each other. People forget that, but they're like, you don't really know the people you're going to school with. You hang out with them because you go to school together, not because you really like all of them. So then you see them again, you have no obligation to actually like them anymore, but you still are like trying to pretend you do. It sucks. Anyway, the bleachers are cramped, and then at this point, now I'm just watching people, just all the graduates, they finally come out. I've been sitting in this uncomfortable, no back support bleacher, smashed. I have long legs, dude. I'm 6'4". My legs are busting out of the seams here. I'm just sitting there. There's a huge family in front of me. I got I think my mom was to the right of me. To the left of me is a random woman who has a chair. She has back support there. I'm kind of mad. I'm like, man, I wish I brought a chair. Like, anyway, not the point. I'm smashed in this thing. And they start finally bringing the graduates out. Like, I was just trying to see when my sister would come out. So they walk onto the field. I'm at a football field, and I'm just watching them all come out, and nothing really interesting is going on. It's just people are walking out, and then I see this one guy walk out, and I was confused. I'm like, dude, he's messing up this whole thing, because you have a specific order you're supposed to walk in or whatever, and he broke the order to walk in. He broke the order. And then went and said something to his mom, I think. And at the time, I was like, okay, that's weird. That guy is definitely messing up the graduation, because he had to go figure out a spot again. But dude, it is insane the reason he did that. Because a little bit longer keeps going. Time keeps going by. I can't remember if this is before or after my sister came out. My sister eventually did come out, and I was like, yo, there she is, and whatever, But then I see the same kid who broke the line and was saying something to his mom walking out with he has his arm around one of the teachers, and three cops behind him. This is not just a random kid. This is a kid who's graduating. I mean, he's in his cap and gown. He was on the field, and now he's walking out with three cops and the principal. And I was like, "Oh, wait a minute. Let's go back." I was trying to figure out, is he in trouble? Is he just, did he forget something inside and now they need to walk him in? Like, I was so confused. Why is he walking with three cops, dude? And it turns out he was just trashed, man. And I'm just thinking, why? Why would you do that? Of all things, at your graduation, you are so close. Literally the last day you're gonna be in school, and you're like, let me just get hammered. He is trashed, and he is getting arrested. He got arrested. And you can be like, oh man, that sucks. On his night, he got arrested. I mean, yeah, it does suck. But why would you show up? Why would you get hammered for your graduation? I am just so shocked that anybody. I'm sorry, that is one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. One of the like, I'm not. You can't even be mad at the school for getting him in trouble for that. He's just walking around stumbling at his graduation. Like they can't just let that slide. I don't know, dude. This candy crush is definitely dead, by the way. That was a huge mistake. I did not mean to kill him. This is gonna make this stage 2 a lot more difficult. I don't know if I'm even getting to stage 2 though, because we gotta kill all this stuff. This is gonna be a little bit of a rough go. We might actually get to stage 2. Never mind. So that was insane. I mean, just to see some kid who last day gets a buzzer beater arrest. I don't know what's gonna happen to him. I looked through the system to see if he actually did get arrested. Yep, he got arrested. His bond was like $50,000. I'm just so shocked. Look, guys, I always talk about how not a big person, party person. You know, like I don't get crazy. I don't do things. I went to jail, but that was right after I got out of high school. So to think that someone is just that much of a party person who's like, it's my graduation, last day, let me get just sloshed and get arrested. I don't know what's gonna happen to him. Does he even get his diploma? Does it happen? Is it over at that point? Like, do you just give up? I don't know, dude. It's nuts. It is nuts that someone is quite frankly that stupid. That is one of the dumbest things I've ever heard someone doing and seen with my own eyes. But yeah, so that was how the graduation started, was this kid just getting walked out, escorted out by the ops. But then, the graduation ceremony started to kind of actually commence. And dude, I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of getting mad. I was kind of getting mad during the ceremony because I was listening to the speech the principal had, and I was like, wait a minute, they said all this stuff at my graduation. What the heck? I thought I was special. And I'm not even joking. I started getting pressed over it. I was like, were they lying? Were they just saying this? I thought I was their favorite class. I thought I was the best class. I thought they liked us the most. No, dude, they just say that. I'm gonna break some reality here. They just say that. So I started getting pissed. I wasn't there like standing up. This is bullshit. Like, I didn't really care that much, but like, yeah, I kind of thought like, wait, maybe it wasn't as special as I thought it was. And anyway, the graduation continued, and then I started listening to some of the people's speeches. Like, there's like 30 speeches you have to listen to. There was one cool speech. It was this autistic dude. He's actually autistic, I swear. Please don't think I'm just being politically incorrect, guys. I wouldn't do that. He said so in his speech, all right? And he was very socially anxious, he said, and he talked about how when he was very first in his class, he could not he couldn't give a speech in front of his class for a project, and he was so scared about it. And then now, I mean, he had a few hiccups, but he was there giving a speech in front of 1,000 people. That was super cool to see. That was the only one I clapped for. The other one, it was, it was like this dude who he threw in a few jokes. It was like, I have a newspaper from the day I was born, and a lot of things have changed since then. I mean, who even reads the paper anymore? Silence. 1,000 people collectively agreed that was not a good joke. I would be so embarrassed. But then he also was talking about like How I Met Your Mother and how it was his favorite show, which, to be honest, is like one of the worst shows ever. So I was thinking like, dude, that show sucks, dude. And they're also, apparently there's like a senior class gift you give. So they're like, our senior class gift is an American flag. Which is like, dude, that gift sucks, dude. I think my class gift was like a nice park bench, right? So we were kind of on the ball. But what else happened? Oh yeah, another kid made a joke about like, you can be anything you want to be, even a SoundCloud rapper. Once again, just completely fell flat. Yeah, I mean, there wasn't really much notable going on there. Overall, it's just a graduation ceremony. Nothing crazy other than, obviously a kid getting arrested and then a guy saying he liked How I Met Your Mother. Like, does anybody here watch that show? Maybe I'm being too judgmental. I just hate laugh tracks. Laugh tracks suck so bad, dude. It's like, look, if you gotta tell me when to laugh, clearly it's not a funny show. I mean, am I wrong? I'm not wrong. I'm definitely not wrong. But graduation was good. There were some families, you've probably seen the memes where they're like, some family will yell and so like the kid's name will get called and they'll be like, yay, let's go. Then another kid gets called. It's like, boom, air horns, fireworks, the whole crowd's cheering. So yeah, I had to compete. I wanted to let my sister know that she still had her dogs out there. So I was like the only person in my family didn't really cheer because they're all shy. But dude, I got that DAWG in me, ready to go and live free. Maybe I should be the SoundCloud rapper, be so real, but I would say I'm glad that it's over. There's no more people in my family who need to graduate, which means I never need to go to a stupid high school graduation again, because those things suck. Wow, creative Tesla spot. Would have never guessed it would be there. So let me see if I'm in Diamond League yet. I'm only I think I'm only one defense away from getting to Diamond League. We are now in Diamond League, baby. We got a pretty sick defense right here. That means I am number 68 globally and number 5 in the United States, and I am one of the 75 people in the entire world who are above 6,200 trophies, meaning I am one of the few people, one of the 0.00005, rounding up, I'm doing a little math, guys, no big deal, percent of players who are actually in Diamond League. So yeah, I'm in the rarest league in the world, no big deal. I will always like Builder Base more than Home Village. The Builder Base is so much better than the Home Village, but for all that to say, I'm gonna limit my Builder Base episodes only to when I have literally nothing to do here. So hope you guys enjoyed, and let me know in the comments what you'd like to see and what stories you want to hear. See you later.